Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another edition of One Hero, One Burning Question, powered by yours truly, ELUK2025. Dare I say it, the only place to be this October. I'm absolutely delighted today to bring you Sam Mathew. Now, Sam, you come from a wealth of experience in the energy sector, currently working at Microsoft, which is why you're best positioned to answer this question. You're going to be joining us at ELUK 2025 as a panelist. We're very excited to have you, so thank you very much for supporting the event. But as you know, today is all about your one burning question. So Sam, here we go. With cloud and AI now driving the heartbeat of grid transformation, especially as we push to deploy assets faster and squeeze every ounce of efficiency from existing infrastructure, how are advanced AI solutions really helping boost grid resilience, accelerating the energy transition, and ensuring that progress is really equitable for everyone? Do you think you could take us away on that one, please, Sam?
Sure thing. Thanks, Andy. First of all, thanks for having me at the event. I think just looking at the agenda promises to be a really exciting event. So look forward to it. With regards to the question, I mean, that's a loaded question. I think data and AI technologies and the sort of scale and compute that we now get with cloud is fundamental to how we as an industry are going to transform ourselves and get to our clean energy net zero ambitions across countries. And why do I say that? I say that as I'll just probably lay it out in three different areas. First thing I think is by the use of data and AI technologies, we are getting much better at the way we operate a current portfolio of assets. Now, whether that be through the use of things like predictive maintenance, which helps us avoid unplanned shutdowns, unplanned maintenance activities, and sort of losing out on capacity wherever we could have had it otherwise, whether it be through things like that, or whether it be through sort of capabilities like forecasting, especially around advanced weather forecasting. Now, getting a better understanding of what the weather looks like a week down the line, a month down the line, or maybe a couple of months down the line, that starts to give us a much more informed view of what sort of generation we are going to be having, say, from solar, from wind, and other sort of clean energy technologies. Again, that in itself is valuable data that will help us manage the grid better, balance the grid better, maximize clean energy, and again, just make sure that we've got energy security like never before. So that being sort of, that's sort of in this area of operating current assets, but that's not, but it's not only that, it's also building new assets. When it comes to building new assets, we are in this sort of world where we have got to get assets constructed and to operations as soon as possible, whether that be the generation assets or whether that be the transmission, distribution infrastructure, so on. There is a ton of work being done in that area. Again, this is an area where data and AI technologies can really help, whether that be the things like digital twins, where we build and construct the assets in the virtual world before, and even operate them in the virtual world before we physically even build them. And what that helps us is, one, get it right the first time. Make all the mistakes in the virtual world, doesn't cost us anything getting it wrong there. But when you're building it in the physical world, we build it once, get it right. And also, when it comes to operations, we are operating it at its optimum best. We've made all the sort of changes that we need to get a well-oiled and a well sort of, efficient sort of asset in the virtual world that we then deploy in the physical world. That's sort of one example. Another sort of area when it comes to new assets and new build is around permitting and consenting. We all know that is a phase where a lot of time, energy, cost is spent today, none of which we can afford really. So whether that is through things like the use of generative AI and large language models to help with drafting those permits, drafting those applications that we need to get out, whether it be through things like understanding what would be the impact of these new assets on the local ecology, what are the mitigation ways, and helping us put these sort of mitigations or plan and design these mitigations well in advance, or even be things like community engagements. A significant part of the new and clean energy asset build is going to be engagements with our local communities. Just think about the power of generative AI and large language models in that process, right? No longer are you just putting out data to people. You're giving people and communities the ability to sort of interact with that data and truly understand at a personal level what each of these means for them, and hopefully get that support that we all need in this process. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but you can see the kind of passion that I have for this and the sort of interest that I have in this area. But I think, I'll just leave it with one final point, and that's the sort of data that we are running into. The scale of the data that we as a sector are running into is going to be in exabytes, 10 to the power 18. That's the sort of data that we are going to be working with in the years to come, with smart meters, with sensors, with a whole bunch of chatter all over the place. We're going to be working with exabytes of data. And it's not one that we can humanly reason over. It's not one that we can humanly drive insights into, and left to our own devices, we'll probably use a fraction of that, right? That's what is humanly possible. So for me, again, brings me back to the point that unless we've got scaled use of advanced data and AI technologies, we won't be using all of that data to its very best. We won't be driving insights to the very best. And our actions and interventions would not be data and insights driven. With that, hopefully I've made the case for the use of data and AI technologies going forward in the sector.
Yeah, that was absolutely perfect, Sam. And I can certainly say AI and technology taking us to the future, but people like yourself, Sam, leading us towards a smarter future here in the UK. So look, thank you very much for that. Thank you for being part of One Hero, One Burning Question. And we really look forward to hearing more from you and bringing that passion out again, live on centre stage at ELUK, which is just 3 weeks away now. So thank you very much for your time today, Sam. Take care.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you.